Here is the last problem that I'm dealing with, and I put this question to a bunch of people on, I believe, TotalRuckus.com, really good Ruckus site, because I'm not an expert with these things. I know that the motor runs, but for some reason the new fuel pump is not giving me gas to go into the engine. Now what I did was I made sure my battery was charged right here. I've got it offset. When I turn the key on, what happens is the motor or the pump is supposed to go dit, 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 and it fills this line up right here going into the carburetor with fuel, because it's taking the gas from below the carburetor and pumping it upwards. That's no problem. What happens is the pump goes once and then stops, and this relay right here clicks. This is a fuel relay. It clicks once, and then I don't have any more power. Now, to see if it was the pump or the engine or whatever, what I did was I have a little tiny hole right here. This is what I cut for the owner. This is a little tiny Honda pin. This hole right here goes directly into the air filter proper, or this tube right here, which this tube goes right into the carburetor. What I do is I take this out. This is for cold weather starting, and I spray in a little bit of the blue starter fluid into, and this is starter fluid is a very volatile mix to get your engine started from sitting a long time, so you don't wear your battery all out. So I spray a little bit in, I turn the key on and the starter, and it works. It works until the starter fluid runs out. So I know that the engine is getting fuel from the starter fluid. I know the engine works, but it's not getting fuel from the gas tank. Now the weird thing about this Ruckus compared to my bike and what I was reading up on is they have what's called a fuel bank sensor. And what that is on a lot of these bigger bikes and other bikes, they have electric fuel pumps. If the bike is turned over or falls to one side or another side, the fuel bank sensor cuts off a switch which keeps the electronic fuel pump stopped, so that if you get in a wreck or something like that, it's not pumping fuel all over the bike and getting it on fire. It just stops it. So I'm thinking that maybe this could be the fuel bank sensor, which is right here, or, and remember this, I'm going through a problem-solving phase before I get out my little voltmeter and do all this. I'm thinking that right underneath the floor plan right here, I can use my finger. This is the plate that holds the fuel pump right there, or those two tabs right there, okay? Now, when I put the fuel pump in the last time, I didn't slide it in that little tab right there. So the fuel pump wasn't sitting totally flat. It was sitting up a little bit. And I'm thinking maybe that there is a sensor in the pump itself, which if the pump is not sitting completely flat, it won't work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get myself a little I'm going to get a little tray right here. I'm going to put it down here, and I'm going to take the end, and they suggest you do this. I'll take the end of the fuel line and put it right there. I'm going to hook up the fuel pump motor to right here, and then I'm going to turn the key on. And remember, if you do this, I thought you may have to have the brake pulled in. You don't, but you do have to have the switch turned on right here. Now remember, it could be 1,000 little things, but this is the part of working on a Ruckus or a little bike, which is hard, because if everything goes perfectly, it's totally easy to do. But it could be a bad ground, it could be a bad relay, I've taken the relays. There are two relays. One of them, like I said, is for the fuel pump. What I've done is I've looked at both of these relays. They're both the same. Only one of them, this one goes to the fuel pump. So what I did was I switched this one out to this one because they're both the same. I get the same problem. So I know that either I've got two bad relays or I can't let that touch. Damn it. Oops. Well, it didn't touch anything, so don't worry about it. Okay, I'm going to give this a try. I got to use two hands.